they've been saying to me that June, July, and August are huge ascension burst months, which is super exciting because it means light codes and light waves are coming from the Earth, from faraway galaxies, from our own solar system and from our star families, because they're so happy that we're open and we're in tune with them, we're connecting in a deeper way. So how these ascension bursts come in is it's physically felt, and it can be intense, like pressure in the head, new sensations that you've never had before, hearing frequencies that you've never heard before, and like pains in the body that are there and they're there for a day and then they're gone.
Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I have the one and only Natalie Namaste. Natalie's a channeler, Reiki master, teacher, intuitive guide. She channels what she describes as the angels of light, the Arcturians, and a council of guides she calls her 120 angelic beings of light, offering profound guidance and healing energies to those in her presence. And it is an honor to speak with her again. If you checked out one of our Saturday episodes, that was the first time I got a chance to meet Natalie. Natalie is infectious. She raises the vibrations. She's changing the world. Welcome to the Reality Revolution, Nat.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here, to connect with everyone who's here, and to be in a super harmonic resonance.
Thank you so much. It is so much fun to talk about this stuff. So just for the people that didn't get a chance to meet you the first time, go back and give us a little bit of your origin story and how you got started in this and the journey that you've been on.
Wow, where do I begin? Well, I was born in South Africa, so that's the accent, if you're wondering. And I was born remembering. So actually going back further, I don't think I've ever said this on a podcast, but I almost wasn't born. So my my mom was on the loop, and so they weren't my mom and dad, they weren't planning to have another child, but I wanted to come and I had a mission. So the energy was extremely strong when this was happening because I needed to come to Earth. They weren't planning to have a third child. So she started to bleed, and the doctor said she's going to miscarry. And then she went to a friend and asked them to pray. And this powerful, strong prayer came in. Now, I have since gone on a retreat where I was doing extremely powerful circular breath. And during the circular breath, where you don't pause at the top of the in-breath, you don't pause at the bottom of the out-breath, you just breathe, I left my body and I revisited what it was like during my birth. So I experienced my birth again. And so now I know from the soul perspective what was happening on my side when she was bleeding.
Tell me about it. What happened?
Yeah, I had resistance as a soul. I was with the angels in the angelic realm of a very high frequency, and as I started to condense my light into physical form, because what I've been shown is that while you're growing in the womb, you can go in and out.
All right, in the womb.
And so you get accustomed and used to being in particle and condensed into form. And so I was experiencing this, and I was having some resistance to the feeling of being in physical. And so I was calling on the angels to truly help me with this adjustment. And it was hard to actually leave the angelic realm and come to Earth, but I'm so glad I have. What then happened was that with the prayer, the power of the prayer and the love of my parents truly wanting me to come, that frequency helped me to be able to find stability in bringing my soul light into the body, into physical form. And so it happened, and I had a really good birth. Everything, like things kind of went better with my mom's pregnancy, and actually since I've gone back and seen what my birth was like, at the moment of birth, there was another kind of hiccup or pulling back of where I said to the angels, I need to feel and know that you're with me all the time while I'm on earth. And they said, don't forget, we will be together very strongly in your near-death experience when you die in 2007. So there was always like something written in my contract that
Right.
I was going to go back and be with them for a little bit while I was incarnated as Natalie in this body. So I just want to make sure, am I clear? Is it
Everything's clear. It's been working good so far. Yeah.
because the energies are coming
You can feel it,
so
can't you?
strong.
Yeah, the energies are coming through.
Wow, really, my hands are on fire, my rings feel hot. I'm feeling waves come through. So what's happening here is not just words, but an energetic activation for everyone, so that everyone can really feel and remember the light that they are, and how beautiful you are, and how special you are, and how much effort and energy it takes to incarnate in human form. And so truly appreciate every moment of being alive in a body, because it is such a gift. And and just to share a little bit more about, so from a young age, I was talking to the angels, seeing auras, like Brian, around you, it just flashed violet white light, which is super high frequency.
I love that. I love it when people tell me that my colors on my aura. I love that, because I've been trying to get some more violet into my life, so that makes me happy. Thank you.
Oh, yay, it's working.
Yes.
And actually, I can feel Saint Germain with you on your right side.
You know, that's so fascinating, because I read my friend Daniel Scranton's Saint Germain channeling just last night. I was reading the Saint Germain channeling, so now you're saying he's right there. And when I do my the banishing ritual and I cleanse my room, I always call upon that archangel right there. And I'll call upon Saint Germain, so I can feel that. I've always had this connection with Saint Germain and Archangel
Zadkiel.
Michael
And Zadkiel.
Zadkiel, yes.
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 And Michael. Yes. I can feel
was
them
thinking about
in your
you.
energy.
I was just thinking about you the other day when I was talking to my friend Damien Eccles. Damien Eccles was on death row, for 18 years, and he would sit in solitary confinement and just call upon the angels 4 times a day, all of them in all corners, specific sections of the room, and he started to really feel their presence. And so I was thinking about asking you about that. How many angels are we dealing with that are constantly around us? And with your eyes, how do they tend to appear? What is it we're not seeing? Can you share any of that?
There are like trillions of angels. There are angels that work with buildings, angels that work with governments, angels that work with each individual, angels that work with situations. So, for example, if we're leaving a job to go to another job, you'll get angels that come in to help with that. So there's so many angels. There are angels just waiting to be asked, and they support. They are in abundance, and everyone has their own guardian angel. And like by you reading that book, when you read a book or when you listen to a podcast, you start to connect with the beings that are being spoken about. So just by you asking me this question, everyone's room is now flooding with angelic light, and angels are just beaming light to everyone. And so the way in which you can connect with your guardian angel, your angel teams that love to support you, is by coming into the present moment. And what is in the present moment? This body. It doesn't exist in the future or the past. It is the portal to presence. So like often what I'll do is I'll bring awareness into my heart and focus awareness here and start to feel the heartbeat. And then the heartbeat is not just felt in the chest. You start to feel it in the head. You start to feel it in your feet. You feel it all over the body. You're feeling the one beat, the one pulse, and it opens you up to higher frequencies. And in those higher frequencies, you can connect to the angels and your guardian angel. And everyone has, but before you're born, a guardian angel that is with you, helping you to plan your life, to plant specific seeds that are going to germinate when you reach that moment, which are specific experiences that your soul really wants to manifest and create and magnetize in while you're in a body. And your guardian angel is steering, guiding, supporting, and protecting all of it. From the moment of conception to the moment that you leave this body, they're with you full on. Like the main job is to support you in this incarnation, and then you can go have fun with them after, when you leave this body, and be in the frequency with them, because they'll be there to meet you and support you to transition and to acclimatize to the different dimensions that you are then are available to you when you pass.
How can we communicate with our guardian angel? Is there a way for us to communicate and connect with them on a deeper level than just knowing that they're around?
Yeah. So what I find is the more we empty out our own mind, the more spaciousness there is. So it's not about trying to connect, because in the trying, you end up leaking your energy out and you get too in the mind. And so it's a way of life to recognize when the mind is talking and to be conscious and aware, to go, oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to feed those thought patterns, because often the mind is talking nonsense. If you watch your mind, you realize, if you watch a wild mind, you can realize how crazy the mind is. It'll think about this, then that, then that. It goes everywhere so fast. And all you have to do is recognize, oh, hold on. I have a mind. I'm not my mind. I don't need to be identified, and feed all my awareness to it. And in that moment, you retract awareness from the thoughts. And where does awareness go? It goes into the body. And more light in the body, you become so present. And when you stop feeding the mind for even half a second, mind loses power. And then you have, let's call it the thinking mind. It becomes emptier. The less you feed it, it empties. And when the empty mind is here, present, what are you able to tap into? You're able to hear beings of light that are in high frequency realms, because you're not cluttered and consumed with identifying with your own mind. So in that space, there you find that you're able to ask questions. Like some of the tools I give to my students is, you can write with your non-dominant hand in your diary, just to confuse the energies and to stop the thinking mind from controlling. You write, guardian angel, what message do you have for me? I mean, you can make it shorter because it's not always easy to write with the non-dominant.
Right, yeah.
And then go to the dominant hand, the writing hand, and just write. You will be channeling your guardian angel. They will speak through you. And other ways that they love communicating is, say to them, guardian angel, leave me signs. I'm paying attention. And then pay attention. Like you'll see feathers on your path. And I had a butterfly, no jokes. I was sitting up on the hill, meditating. A butterfly flew 3 times. The first time, into my third eye. Second time, into my third eye. Third time, above the top of my head, my crown, to get my attention. Like that really does get it. And so
Yeah.
the angels come through. Your guardian angel can come through birds, insects, numbers. So if you're seeing 1111 or any numbers, pay attention, because they're trying to get your attention. That's why you see the numbers, because they're going, stop, pause, be present, so we can communicate through your mind. And that's it. It's powerful.
Now, when they communicate, if they're not communicating where you're hearing clairaudiently, how do we translate those other ways that they communicate through feeling. And can you explain that? There's a sort of way to convert what they're saying.
Yeah.
They can speak in my dreams. It can be symbolic in the world around me, even animals that come to me. Explain that process of really understanding how they're communicating, because it goes beyond. Some people expect just to hear a voice in their ear, and it's not just that, right?
And actually, we can get ourselves stuck at that point. I once had a client who said, I hear frequencies, and then I know it's my angels. So then I pause and I tune in, but I don't hear anything. And that's because the angels were getting their attention through the frequency, but they're a feeler. They experience life through feeling. So then they had to come into their body and feel. Now there are 6 ways in which we experience our reality. 6 main ways. There's many more, but we all do experience through one or more of these deeply. So there is sight. Some of us can close our eyes and see images and get messages through our closed eyes. Or some of us can see colors, energies, get messages through our eyes open. So that's sight. Then hearing. You can hear frequencies through your ears, like really physically hear them. You can hear through your own mind. Messages and words come through your mind. Then there is feeling. Goosebumps, tingles, heat. And sometimes I feel my angels blow wind upon my skin, or my hand will get hot when they hold my hand. So, and other times I just know they're there because I'll get like a shudder through the body. So, we can really sense and feel in our body through the sensations. Then there is smell. Now, smell. You could smell flowers, and then whenever I smell that scent, that's my angel coming in.
Yes.
Or taste. Yeah, you get a certain taste in your mouth, and you haven't eaten anything, but it just arises. It's from the etheric field that it's bringing it into these frequencies of your taste, and even sometimes the tongue will start to vibrate. And then the 6th sense is this knowing, and that sense is actually the one that is the hardest for people to recognize, but it is the deepest. So if you're a knower, you might not know that you're a knower. And sometimes people say to me, but I don't have any of these senses. Nothing's happening for me. I try, but nothing. And I'm like, oh, then you're a knower. It means that there's no thought in between what the experience and the truth. You just know it. You know that your guardian angel's with you. You don't need to use the logical mind to try and explain it. So it's a deep one. It's a hard one to explain. It's more like a surrender and a trust that, and so it is, like that.
Right. No, I when I smell oranges, sometimes that's when I know that there's a certain protected presence that I love. And if you do notice, does anybody notice that you just suddenly smell something that you shouldn't be smelling? There's nothing in the room, there's no candle or anything that has this smell, and then suddenly this smell flashes upon you. It's really one of the clear places where people miss. And like what you said, you'll feel just a little gust of wind on your arm. People are asleep and they don't notice these little sensations that happen, and they're constantly with us. Thank you for sharing that. When you also channel the Arcturians, is that correct?
Yes.
So talk about the difference when you're communicating with the Arcturians than the angels. Was there a difference between them?
There really is. So the angels come through with this frequency of compassion. It feels like pink, white, kind of coral light, and it feels gentle, loving. They understand emotions. They understand it's like the feeling. It's a feeling with them. With the Arcturians, they come through as more of a high frequency blue-white light. It seems to activate something in my neck and my throat when they come through. They are the wisdom that they bring is so expansive. They focus more on spiritual awakening, what's available to humanity, where we're moving into, giving us direction, like how to work as a human being to dissolve any blockages that are in the way of our infinite being. So what they communicate is different. And yeah, they're feeling, I feel them so different. And the Arcturians are here on my left, and the angels are always on my right.
One thing that you talk about a lot is about dissolving the patterns that so we can live from the heart. So explain what you mean by that. What exactly is a pattern in your language, and how does it hold us back, and how does it connect to our heart?
Yeah. So first of all, we are infinite beings, and then we are born, and we get conditioned because we are being told, no, you can't do that, this is the way to do it. So some of these conditions are very helpful because it helps us to be able to function in a body as a human, and some of them are outdated, and they can put us into a place of feeling unworthy, in a scarcity mindset. Like, for example, an ancestry one could be that your grandfather lived in a time of war, and so he feels that life is hard, and he's been vibrating life is hard, and you have to work hard, you have to put effort in to get anywhere. And so that's a frequency that'll be picked up in the energy field by your parents that was parented by him, and then it's in your frequency field. And then there's patterns like cultural patterns, where different cultures have different beliefs and religious patterns, and there'll be ones from schooling. There are so many patterns, so many. And so we like, one of them is, and I noticed, like, I've worked with thousands of people over the years. I've been doing healing for 25 years. So one thing I've noticed in everyone is this pattern of at some point in their life not believing that they're worthy to be themselves, to be who you are, like an unworthiness pattern. And that's a big and strong one, because it can actually block us from the flow of being, the fullness of consciousness here in a body. And so it's important for us to become aware. And what awareness is it is the infinite light that you are, and it's always here in the present moment. So to become aware means to stop identifying with every thought and come back into the present moment and recognize, hey, you know what my mind just said to me, it was criticizing me, it was judging me, it was judging that person. That's not truth, and I'm not going to feed that thought wave anymore. And then you become empowered, because you stop feeding awareness to those patterns dissolve. And when they dissolve, you naturally start vibrating, instead of the main place of vibrating in the brain, which is mind to brain. It then shifts. It's a polar shift where it goes mind to heart, and you start living through your heart. And how that looks is you start being kinder to yourself, you start believing in yourself, whereas the mind would normally contract and say, oh no, that's not for me, others can deserve that, but no. And instead, what starts to happen is you start to feel, oh, that is possible for me, I am the creator, everything's possible for me. And so you have huge expansion when you dissolve the patterns that are lower frequency and contractive, and you start feeding the thought patterns that are very expansive and heartfelt.
I love that. And it's so true. I've come upon it in my teaching. I think anybody that's coaching or helping others is coming to this same aspect at some point. It becomes obvious after you work with thousands of people that there are these patterns. How can we eliminate and dissolve those patterns? Once we find them and we become aware of them, what's the best way for us to do that?
The good news is that's the easy part. They actually dissolve by themselves the moment you recognize that you're not them. So it's in recognizing that which you're not, that which is not you dissolves, and you return that to that which is you, which has always been you, the infinite creator that's here. So what I do is, and sometimes there's strong ones, like, whoa, they knock you and you feel emotional and it's intense. When that comes, I've got so many different tools that I use throughout the years. So one of them is that thought pattern will come in. It will make me feel emotional. I'll feel the emotion in my body. I'll take the deepest breath in, breathing in the light into that space. And I'll breathe out with a big sigh. And I'll do that a few times. So conscious breathing in the light into the area that where the emotion feels strong. And where the mind is like attacking yourself, and then breathing it out. And that is powerful. Every out breath starts to dissolve and send those patterns out of your energy field back into the cosmos, where it turns back into light. Lately I've had a fun one I'm using. Like when my voice comes in and it puts me down, I've got this imaginary like paintball gun, and it's a different color paintball, and I just blast that thought. It comes in and I'm like, no, blast with a different color of light, and really it works. You just blast those thoughts, you just send them with color or light, get them out, don't feed them, and they will disappear. The strong ones that knock you, I invite you to go really into the body, breathe into it and cry it out, sound it out, release it out. By accepting that it's there, you go to the root of it. And by going to the root of it, it heals. Like I had depression, and I lay down one day and I just hugged myself and softened and was kind to myself. And I went into where in the body I was holding this depression. It was in the heart, it was in the solar plexus. It felt heavy, it felt damp. And I just breathed and I cried and I felt, and it completely dissolved by me accepting it. So acceptance holds the energy of absolute, and absolute is the energy of wholeness. So it brings you back to wholeness by facing it.
Yeah, it's almost like for us to accept it, we have to find a way to appreciate it, right? We have to find a way to appreciate that darkness that you found there in your body. And that's sometimes hard for me to do, to find that, to switch that off and find that appreciation to release it.
It's true. Like we resist it because it's not comfortable, or we'll make up stories around it and like become a victim of it. These are the habits of the mind that once you start recognizing them, it does get easier.
You worked with hardened skeptics that totally just don't believe anything that you're doing. So for those that are in a similar path as you, how do you handle that? What's the best way for you to be of service in those situations? How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, I use the language that they're using. So it's quite funny, but my mom is a bit of a skeptic of me. So she doesn't always believe in Reiki, and then I give it to her and then she starts believing. But she says to me sometimes, she'll say, well, you should be praying and it should be through Jesus. So then I'll use the language that she speaks, because it is that. It's everything. It comes from one source. It's all one source. So changing the language, and I become one with the person when I'm working with them. I can actually physically feel where aches and pains are, where they've been storing past lives, ancestral energy. I'll feel it in my body. So I'll meet a complete stranger and I'll know things about them that no one else knows. And so that's another way. So for example, I'll say to someone, when you were 12 years old, there was a moment at school where it feels like you were like being pushed forward for something and you didn't want to do it, and you dug your heels in and you didn't feel safe, and it created a pattern of you needing to like have extra boundaries and strength, and it's actually lodged in your right hip, and it can sometimes cause issues to the right knee, and sometimes you get it also in your feet. And because I get it so accurate, the person is like, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to pay attention, maybe there is some truth here.
Right. I bet that's amazing to watch them sort of the switch over when they start to realize that this works, because we can find that common place. One of the great things about the shift that we're going through, that for some is scary, is that we can connect into other people. How do you protect yourself? How do you go to Target when you just go out in public, when you're that empathic and able to connect to people? Some people, it becomes difficult because they really are, I have a friend that can't go to the movies anymore because they feel the emotions of everybody in the movie, and it's difficult for them. So is there a way for the empath in that situation to process that and still function in the world?
Brian, I love your questions. Yes, because this is a stage of expansion that pretty much everyone goes through. When you start really opening, you can sense and feel everything, and it's super overwhelming. When you first start going through it, it's totally natural to want to spend more time alone so you can adjust to it. So first of all, just have compassion and understanding and give yourself what you need. You don't need to keep up with how you used to be, and give yourself permission to spend more time alone. And then as you start to acclimatize to these energies and these sensitivities, I can promise you, through my own experience, you become very embodied. So for me, it's not that I'm trying to get to a place spiritually, it's that I am bringing spirit back here into this world, into the body. And so because you're embodied, because you are spirit in a body, and you're grounded and you're connected to the earth, this all helps you to digest these energies and these frequencies and be able to like work with them. So some of the tools I work with is, like, for example, if I've got a day where I've had like I've held space for a big online group session, afterwards I'll go outside and just lie on the grass, and Mother Earth, she will counterbalance. So if you've got too much excess energy running through your system, she'll pull it out. And if you've got too little energy, she'll feed you with that energy. So she'll balance you. Other ways of like grounding and protecting is like coming to the breath and knowing that, oh, I've got a resource, I've got a tool with me no matter where I am. And you can slow the breath in and out. It helps to bring you back into presence, back into the body. And I will often visualize a blue ball of light around me, protecting me. Or if I'm picking up everyone else's energy in the room, I'll interlace my fingers like this. And what that does is it's a symbol and a signal to bring my aura right back close to my body. And then I wrap it with the blue ball of protection so that I'm not picking up everyone else's energy. And then you're able to stay in your own. Yeah.
For the longest time, I went through that phase where I was interpreting other people's energies. But it's one of the reasons I wear black. I'm a transducer of energy. Bring it on. Just give me all the energy. And when it comes through me and it comes back out, it's way different. That's what I started to realize. It's like I'm a nuclear furnace of energy. If the energy comes through me, then whatever else that comes out, there's no way that I'm going to be in the presence of any energy, because it's changed by me. I change the energy of every environment that I'm in. So there's no balancing. It's a little masculine, I guess, but that's how one way I need to be more accepting and not transducing the energies, I guess. But I've reached the point where I'm not. Help me out. Should I? Is there any ways I can change that particular attitude, or is that okay?
I feel it's absolute resonance with you. I feel like as you are vibrating in this moment, and it feels like there is going to be a change. Like they're showing me like next year, but that's always based off the current vibration. But they're showing how right now and over into next year, this process is in absolute resonance. Like, this is what you're going to be doing. This is what you need to be doing on Earth and in our
Okay,
world,
good.
and how you're working with it.
There is a part of my soul path, and it's why it's one reason why I'm a big believer in psychics and astrology and even tarot, but there's always been some deep resistance for anybody to tell me what will happen in my future, just because I am the operant power. And so I've always been very resistant to that in my consciousness. If somebody's going to give me a prediction, I won't want to hear it. If somebody's going to give me some, or classify me in any way, saying that you're this kind of person or that kind of person, then I want to avoid the category, because there's some part of me that wants to be at the pure all things at the same time, and not to be sort of defined or limited, so that something will happen in October. And I've also seen people that get a prediction, and they become obsessed with it. They talk about it all the time, and it itself, it has an effect. And so there's obviously truth in what they're saying, but at the same time, it can also be what they call a mirror maker. It creates the future from the prediction, which can also happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so true. What they did bring through about next year for you, you're in no box. So that's one thing I can say for sure. It's huge expansion. I'm really excited for you.
And that feels very true to me, and that reminds me, because what the deep work I've been doing on my channel, we talked a little bit about it in the last time I spoke, is we are facilitating these connections with my future self. And so what you're talking about, that expansion, I feel as a real reality in my reality now. That expansion that I see in the future is how I feel that's a memory to me, and that we can connect. So I'd love to know what your guides have to say about us connecting into specific future selves that we want to inhabit, and the linearity of that, and having memories of the future, and what do they bring through on that? Yeah.
Yeah. What they bring through is that there was oneness, source, and then a flash of light was created, and in that one flash, every single possibility exists. So in the field, there is all possibilities, always, all potentials, always. And the rate of speed of vibration, meaning the frequency at which you are at, is what is sending out into this field of energy. And that vibration, that frequency that you're vibrating, calls in the experience. And so, when you're talking about remembering your future self, you're bringing through a timeline that already exists in the field, and you're activating it on a cellular level. Like what I'm seeing, what my guides are showing me, they're showing me an image of a human being that is remembering this incredible life that they're here to live. And all the membranes are lighting up. The cell membranes are lighting up. And I'm just seeing this luminescent human being vibrating at such a high frequency and bringing in these experiences that are so profound, exciting, expansive, because they match. Their energy, their light matches. Absolutely everything is available to us.
Wow, that's very exciting, and what you put into words is what we're starting to see, and we can connect to these different versions, and hope. What I'm wanting to know is if we can do that on a global scale. If we start doing this together, and we can start sharing a vision on a global scale of the new Earth, that we want to see, if we start connecting into that future new earth and allow it to pull us into its future, guide us, inhabit our personality, and say, this is the next choice that you need to make. This is how we heal. This is how we forgive. This is how we love. This is how we expand. If we could do that together, if we could figure out a way to connect to that, is that something that is possible?
Absolutely. When I am shown New Earth, I actually start to vibrate light. And you start to feel something happen in your heart. So if we could meditate on New Earth together, because it's already in the field, it already is. Right. It's only our mind that goes, linear, it's going to happen then, and we start to put dates towards it. We can defy time. I mean, time is only, first of all, time is very mind-made. We decided, 24 hours in a day, let's pick a number, 24, and 365 days a year, but that doesn't work, so we kind of have to make the months, how we do, like 31 days there, 28 days there, and all of that. Very mind-made. The truth is that space is real. Space is here, the spaciousness where everything exists inside of. And so what time really is us moving. The human, the experience, the human with its mind, the body and the mind is moving. The soul, body, mind experience is moving. And it moves from experience to experience. So as you have different experiences, all those experiences exist in the one moment. The moment is always the same. It's here in the field. The moment already holds the new earth. This moment, new earth already exists. It's here. So it's us moving through space by experiencing different experiences that we have time. And when we start to grasp that, not just intellectually, but as a visceral experience, we actually start to defy time, and we start to embody the new earth as like energetic codes in the body. And what I'm picking up, like I'm sure you've been feeling, Brian, is, and everyone here, that lately,
right now,
it's gotten faster and it's gotten stronger. It's like we were ascending already at quite a fast speed, and now it's like boo. And that's because more of us are breathing and being new earth. We're living it right now. And what is new earth? New earth is community, love, remembering that we're all one. That is the truth. That is it. And to remember that and to live that. And then all the other like magical and mystical things like spontaneous healing, sticking your hand through a wall, levitating, all of that stuff, that's like just the fun symptoms of living in oneness.
Thank you. That was beautifully portrayed. I absolutely love that. And the thing is that we need to emphasize for people watching, the new earth are words that you've heard before. It can be almost a cliche, but really it's an experience. It's an experience. If you can experience the new earth, and I have had a couple where I was like, I'm in the new earth right now. Especially when I'm out in nature. I've had some moments like when I was at Mount Shasta, just walking around the lake, and I had crossed through this barrier, this threshold, and I'm in this magical place. And the trees are talking to me, and the birds are there, and everything is alive, and time stands still. It's an experience. And so what I call upon people to do is to report your experiences, because more and more people are experiencing. They don't want to share. They think that people are going to look at you funny or say something weird and unusual, but it's an actual truth. It's a phenomenon, because we are coexisting on this planet with the new earth. The new earth is already shared, and we're also sort of on a timeline split. A portion of the planet is going to continue to choose, because they're not ready to move into the new earth. They haven't done the preparation. And then there's a portion of it that are going to start more and more living and experiencing the new earth now. And it's going to start getting faster and faster. So when your guides, when you look into the future for like the next 6 months, what can you tell us? What do we see coming? Is there any shifts or experiences that we can expect when we look ahead?
Yes, so they've been saying to me that June, July, and August are huge ascension burst months, which is super exciting because it means light codes and light waves are coming from the Earth, from faraway galaxies, from our own solar system and other planets, and from our star families, because they're so happy that we're open and we're in tune with them, we're connecting in a deeper way. So how these ascension bursts come in is it's physically felt, and it can be intense, like pressure in the head, new sensations that you've never had before, hearing frequencies that you've never heard before, like pains in the body that are there, and they're there for a day and then they're gone. And it's kind of like we're being stretched and pulled, and we're having massive releasing of fear or worry or doubt or anything that could be a stuck energy in our physical body. It's coming up to the surface and it's clearing out so that we can be light bodies, that our bodies hold more light. And to a lot of physical experiences. So we need to support our physical body by drinking electrolytes. Like if you can get hold of a fresh coconut, drink that, or make your own with water and lime and honey and salt, and resting, and also shifting, shaking. Shake the energy out when it gets super intense. Go for a run or have a good stretch or sing or dance. Just get moving, because otherwise it can be overwhelming, overstimulating. But it's super exciting because we are so supported, and all eyes are on us. These beings, these high frequency beings and guides from other planets and galaxies, extraterrestrials, they're all looking at us, and they're beaming light waves to us and supporting us as we're working with Mother Earth to ascend. So this year I see these huge ascension bursts. Each month there's like a period of huge energy where people are just like, wow. And then there's like a bit of a pause and an integration, and then another wave, like, whoo. And then we've got one coming up mid-July. We've got another wave coming in. At the time of recording in June, we're currently in one, but it's tapering off on the 19th of June. So we'll have on the 21st of June, we'll have an absolute standstill peace moment. And then July, mid-July especially, they are showing me the number 2020. I haven't looked further. I like to look 1 month at a time, or actually
Right.
1 week at a time, because we're changing so quickly. But I'm super happy to look at this. They're showing me the numbers 20 to 22 of July. They're talking about a sacred alignment. They're showing me golden light. They're talking about a bridge. They're talking about bridge souls. So there are souls that are on Earth that are able to like truly embody and embrace and be in the 3D, spiritually open, the crown chakra open, super connected to guides and angels and beings, and very much able to be in the 3D world as well. Meaning, like some examples of bridge souls are people that might work in a bank, or work in a company that's still quite 3D in its vibration. They're bridging. So there feels like something powerful for the bridging souls coming in the middle of July. So that's going to be interesting as well. They're going to feel like, like it's actually working. there's going to be a feeling of spirit meeting matter, of a third dimensional way of contracted thinking meeting expansion way of thinking, where something's actually going to meet. And wow, this is super exciting. It's the first time I'm channeling about this. So it feels like a meeting and an agreeing, and then they start to like combine. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. Maybe there's going to be like governments that actually sign like something to do with peace, or companies that instead of being like me, they start going, well, actually, I want to support a charity, or I want to help in a different way. There's something to do with that energy at that time. And then on the 8th of the 8th, we've got the Lionsgate portal, and they're saying it's the biggest one that we've had ever. And the reason is, and it's only going to get bigger every year, and the reason they say this is because there are so many more people awake this year than there were last year, and it's just going to keep growing. And so everyone meditating on the 8/8 portal, I'm definitely going to host something. I'm sure you will, and all our communities will be connected through the ley lines of the earth, the golden ley lines, and we'll have a massive golden ignition of the earth on that day.
Maybe we should do a group meditation through all of our channels collaborating for Lionsgate, and maybe we could figure some way to do that so that everybody is meditating together. How many people can we get to meditate at one time? That's the thing. How many could we get to? Like 1 million? Could we get 2 million? Could we get 10 million people to meditate? I really feel like that if we put it out there, we might be able to do something. We might be able to create something that's special, right?
I feel it.
Yeah. So let's start to brainstorm and figure out a way that we can do that. All right?
Yes. Well, I just got to say that I'm having a huge expansion as you talk about it. Like I can actually start to tap in to that energy that we're going to harness at that moment.
Yeah, let's figure out a way to do that. And so, yeah, we'll figure something out. A good time we can get Kyle in on it. We can get anybody else's channels. We can just jump on StreamYard and we can just all share it to each of our channels. So it's live on multiple channels.
Yes.
And if we can figure out, it doesn't have to, it can be a 12-minute meditation.
Exactly.
If we're going to get a large, we can do 10-minute meditation. We can get 1 million people meditating for 10 minutes, just opening them to the energies of the portal. We can figure something out. Yeah. All right.
The angels are going high frequency, and I can feel all the star families just sending galactic energies towards us. They're like, yes, our human galactic beings. Yes.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, when you have these deep emotional releases in your sessions, where is the energy going? Does it accumulate? Can we send it somewhere? Can it be left as a residue? When you do these deep energy emotional releases, have you ever been in a room with a deep emotional release and it sort of stays out stuck there in the environment?
Yeah. This is one. Energetic cleansing is like my primary. Energetic cleansing and protection and grounding are the three like major tools that I teach, and when I'm teaching like Reiki or anything, because we need to send it out and burn it and to turn it into light. So some of the tools you can use is visualize a violet flame of transmutation. So you send all that emotional energy and burn it. You can go and physically light a candle. Like if someone comes to me, like a friend of mine, and they come to me in the vibration of complaining, I'll just be like, hold on, I'm just going to light a candle. And because I want to maintain resonance of the highest field so that whatever they're going through can dissolve and be met by this high frequency resonance that I'm in. Like personally, I don't have to use these tools every day because I have like automatic cleansing and I stay in a resonance that's pretty like stable. But Sometimes then life will happen, and I go straight back to the tools. I visualize a
Right.
waterfall of white light cleansing and clearing me, the space, the room. Like if you go into a hotel room, cleanse it. You could
Yes.
visualize a waterfall of light cleansing the space. Um, you could use sage, white sage. You don't even have to burn it. Sage holds the frequency of cleansing, so you could just be carrying a piece of sage with you, just keeping the energy field clear and light. When you're doing it for yourself, when you're noticing, oh my gosh, my mind is being awful with me, then and you stop it, you take that deep breath in, breathing in the light, and you breathe out, oh, releasing. As you release it, it's automatically going into the cosmos where it turns back into light. What I've been shown by the guides is that that which we release goes back into the cosmos, and it doesn't stay how it was. It can transmute itself. So especially when you're working with breath, that's what happens.
I love that. That's amazing. We have a question in the group. We're moving from observing reality to actively collapsing timelines. When someone receives a massive download or intuitive hit during a solar surge like the one we're in, how do they mentally lock it in and prevent the old matrix from pulling them back?
When it comes in, you know it. You know it as truth. So bring it in and place it in your heart. You can visualize it. You can put your hands there so that it integrates, so that it lands, so that it sticks and stays. And then maintain awareness, be vigilant and maintain awareness. And anytime a contraction, an old matrix thought comes in, you recognize it and you catch it like that, and you send it away into the light, and you come immediately back into the resonance that's in your heart field. So you just keep doing that practice, and eventually you'll stop having the old matrix coming in, and this will just get bigger. What you downloaded and what you tapped into during these huge ascension bursts and solar activations, it'll be a part of you.
Another question is, when grounding while laying on the ground, is it just on the grass, sand, or can we also lay on a mat, sleeping bag, etc.?
Absolutely. You can be on a mat, a sleeping bag, a mattress, anything. Everything's energy. So even inside of a sleeping bag, if you look at a sleeping bag, you go all the way into it, and inside of each particle, there's I think it's like 98% space. So it's an illusion. It's not really condensed. It's not really solid. It's still full of energy, which means energy moves through. Mother Earth's energy moves through. Like even sometimes we've got so many ants that bite outside at the moment. I think because the rains have started, they're all coming out, and so I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna wear my shoes, and through my shoes I'm still connecting to the earth.
Yeah. Well, what I recommend when if you have a bunch of ants is talk to the queen. Make a deal with the queen. That's what I've been finding, is make a deal with the queen. Like, here's the line. If you go past this line, you guys might be in trouble, and I might have to set some things out for you. But if you stay beyond this line, then you're good. And I've done this a couple times. Usually they go very quickly and die off. So the new queen will come, and I'll have to make a deal, right? But
Works,
I would
right?
recommend that.
Yes, it absolutely works. Like, no jokes. This time of year, we've got a little swimming pool, and the frogs love it. They think, hey, everybody, mating ground, let's be here. They start singing, and it bounces off the wall, and it's so loud. I mean, I love their singing, but not when it's so many of them. And so I actually communicate every year this time, and I through frequency, through my mind, and I say to them, if you're going to mate in this pool, it's got chlorine in it, and we do scoop out, we keep our pool clean, so your babies are not going to make it. So please don't mate here. Go to the pond that's just down the way. They absolutely listen to me, and they
Right?
go. It works.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all we got to do. And so, I would tell anybody, if it's birds or rats or whatever, communicate with them. You might find that it's very effective. Samantha has a question. When someone is caught in addiction and feels powerless to change, what is the most loving and effective way to support them from both a practical and spiritual perspective? How can we help without trying to control or carry their healing for them?
Yeah, this is a deep one. So protect yourself, place yourself in a blue bubble of protective light, and you'll feel, okay, good, I've got this powerful light around me so I can stay in my frequency instead of like dropping to their frequency. Instead, you'll be able to lift them up without having to use like mind or words. It'll be an energetic transfer. And then know that their journey is their journey, and that the way in which you can help them is you can ask the universe to pour light on them. That is one of the most powerful ways of transformation. So there's ways that you can do without like trying, and because sometimes when we go into the mind, we're like manipulating because we're trying, and that can lower our frequency. So instead, you ask the universe, you can ask their guides, their angels, to step in and hold them in the light, to shine the light on their path. All of that helps. Like anyone with deep addiction, I send them pure white light. And I might do it for a few days, or I'll get crystals. Some good crystals that like to help with addictions is a clear quartz crystal. It does healing, and it does clearing, and it releases low frequency. So you can get a few clear quartz crystals, place them in a certain way, and make a grid, a crystal grid that's dedicated to that person. And you can go to your grid every day and just ask the universe to shine light on that person through this crystal grid, and it really helps them.
That's beautiful. I love that. One of the side effects of becoming cleansed and higher energy is that when any discordant emotion does come up, a disagreement with your partner, anything, and it can be minor, the effects seem larger. Do you understand? If there's like if I stub my toe in a super heightened state, I might experience the sudden frustration of that stubbed toe that lasted for 15 seconds later. As we ascend and grow and become more pure with these energies, our thoughts arrive much faster, and so we become even more tuned to keeping our own energy and reacting in the right way. I'd like to get your perspective, because you're always in this high vibe state. And so you talk about how those negative emotions can be magnified when you're in the higher vibe state, right?
Oh, totally. I'm human, so emotions still come in.
Right.
And so, yeah, what it's like is like the backdrop is clear. So I've got like clarity, meaning that when the emotion comes in, I'm super aware of it, and I'm like, half of me is laughing at myself because I'm being so reactionary. Like earlier today, I all of a sudden just out of nowhere had an emotion of like, I miss my friend so much, and just immediate tears come through. And I was like, there's me, consciousness, expanded awareness, like here watching Natalie, the character, just bursting into tears. And it's what you have is more compassion and understanding, and there's not like another part that then comes in and judges. So it happens super fast. Like those tears, that emotion of sadness and missing lasted 90 seconds, because
90 seconds.
Yeah, it just happens super fast. It's still raw and you can feel it, but there's no resistance to it. Like, oh, it's wonderful to be human and to experience these emotions. So there's like a loving kindness at the same time of like experiencing it. It kind of sometimes feels like I'm here watching, but I'm also in it and experiencing it. It's an interesting feeling.
Right. And what I'm also saying is that later on, because our thoughts are so powerful in those vibratory states, that 90 seconds, you will see some effect of it later. It could reflect in something else outside of our environment, maybe a neighbor that's frustrated, or a washer and dryer that breaks down. It's these little things that can be amplified. That was only 90 seconds, right? Or maybe you were worried or had anxiety or disgust or something like that, and it can be a short window, and then you become aware of it, you filter it out, but you still see an effect When in the old days, in the lower vibratory state, you could go run through that emotion and you wouldn't necessarily see as more dramatic of effects later on in your reality.
Yeah, do you know why? Because the the effects store in your system, and so you become if you're clear and you're conscious and you're aware, and you experience it and it passes through, and you don't attach or resist it, then you see the effect like, yeah, minutes later, oh, now the toaster's not working. Oh, how funny, that was the effect of that.
Right.
But when you resist it or attach to it, it becomes a part of your makeup, meaning you store it in some place in the body, and it becomes part of. It becomes a part of you, so you might not realize it, but it'll be the way in which you're showing up in life. So, for example, it was, let's just feel one out. Like, okay, so I missed my friend in that moment. If I didn't process it, I'd be attached to missing. So I'd be viewing life through the lens of missing. Like, okay, I'd be invited out for a meal. And then 5 of my friends arrive, but like my closest friend cancels on me last minute. I would take that seriously because I've got the veil of missing. So that's like how it is. And then what happens is, so we carry it with us, and then we realize, hold on, I can be conscious, I can be aware, I don't have to carry all this with me. And in that realization, we start to have major releases. So how I see it is this, is that when we start cracking open and have dark nights of the soul, we release root patterns, and we can release them, and they will not just be patterns that we've created in this lifetime, that there'll be patterns from lifetimes that have been hidden in our energy, that have been sending frequency waves out, that have been creating our reality. So when we recognize them, they'll start to come up and out, and then we might have huge crumblings to our reality. So we might lose our job, our relationship might end. Like, that's when you have like the major life-changing shudders, because all that stuff that we were carrying breaks to the surface and clears out. So that's what happens when we store it. That's why it's better to be aware and process it in the moment.
Exactly. So you learn to take it, transmute it, and release it immediately. So it's nothing you're holding on to. If we can learn how to take the energy that comes through us and change it and repattern it. And so if there is negative energies, bring them to me, and I'll just take them and I'll cleanse them and I'll repattern it so it's forevermore. And we could all become these batteries, kind of, where we're taking the negative into the positive, right?
Exactly. We are that.
Yeah.
Our body is the most incredible yantra, which is instrument.
Absolutely.
For consciousness to experience itself. Of course our bodies can do that. What happens is our mind gets in the way of attachment or resistance, and that's where the blocks come. But if we just allow, if we're in the state of allowing and acceptance, everything flows through and transmutes by itself. We don't even have to have effort.
Perfect. Anita asks, if we have family around us that do not understand spiritual things, what is the best way to help them?
Yeah. So first, come into your own heart and recognize how wonderfully you are growing and expanding, and just so much gratitude and appreciation for yourself. And know that as you keep growing and expanding within yourself, that is all that's needed. That affects the world in the most positive and light-filled way. And because you're holding more light in yourself, it sends light frequency into your aura. Others will be touched by it, whether they believe in it or not. It infuses, it fills a room. Like, just being here together, spending time here, having these conversations, you can sense how you're connecting so deep to something so powerful and light. So it works its magic without us trying to help others or trying to help them to see from our perspective, because the beautiful thing is that God, oneness, consciousness, has chosen to be born in trillions of different ways of experiencing itself. And so our way is not the right way, their way is not the wrong way. All ways are ways of consciousness expressing itself and experiencing itself. So accepting them as they are in the way in which they view the world. And in that energy of acceptance, love flows. And when love flows, that's when magic happens, and you don't have to do anything. When someone is met and accepted as they are, and they feel loved and held as they are, something happens inside of them, and we don't have to try to change them, but it might be that they change by themselves because they're met with love.
That's when magic happens. That's when magic happens. Anita also wants to know if you've seen Disclosure Day. What are your thoughts if you have?
I've got to watch it. Yes. I'm going to write a note to myself.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tap into it. Or do you want to say something about it?
No, it's a good movie. I recommend it. I don't want to spoil anything for you, so be sure to check it out. You remind me, your experiences remind me of one of the characters in the movie, going through a similar experience, and so you might find some connection to some of the characters. All right, that's all.
Awesome.
Yes.
Really cool. Yeah.
Well, it's been a huge joy to speak with you. You have a retreat in Costa Rica, November 14th through the 21st. It absolutely sounds amazing. What happens in your retreats?
Huge transformation, quantum leaping. So, if you're doing work by yourself, it works for sure. Mm-hmm. But when you're conscious and you expand and you're in community in Costa Rica, where the people, their greeting is Pura Vida, which means pure life. The actual land, the frequency of where we're having this retreat is called Blue Spirit. And the spirit of the land is so embodying, and the energy of the place itself is amazing. And then where we get to be in person, and I'm going to be channeling my guides, the Arcturians, the angels. You're going to be able to ask questions. We've got certain exercises and practices where we're going to be doing like a live soul regression, where you are going to meet parts of your being that have lived in other, or are living in other dimensions and experiences. So not only past lives that you've had on earth, but experiences that your soul has had, the origin of your star family, all of that. And there's some surprises as well, and it's 90% full, but there is still space. So if you're feeling a resonance in your heart, then I am here with the biggest heart and open wings to welcome you. I'm so excited about it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. They can get more information by going to natalienamaste.com. I will put the link in the description. It's a major joy. I gotta have you back. We gotta talk again soon as the energy shifts. So let's plan on it, okay? And we're gonna definitely plan on the Lions Gate. We'll talk some more and we'll coordinate that. And you have your own. Do you have your community that people can join?
Yes. Oh, I'd love anyone who's in resonance. I have my YouTube community where people can ask me questions and I channel answers, and that's a very loving space. It's Natalie Namaste Healer. Instagram is Natalie Namaste with a little underscore at the end. And then the other place is go onto my website, because on the first page there's a free gift with a meditation that I channeled, and when I was channeling it, my whole body was vibrating and I felt like tears of love. It's a meditation to raise your frequency, to have a protection, to connect with your angels. It's beautiful, and I've got so many things that I offer. So just spend time on my website and go to the Book Now tab and feel it out, and you'll know what's for you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and welcome to the Reality Revolution, Natalie.
Well, I feel so welcome. Brian, thank you for having me here, truly, and thank you everyone for being here. This is wonderful.
It's been wonderful. Thank you. Whenever I've taught about money, I've only ever been able to give you a tiny piece I've only ever been able to give you an affirmation or a single teaching. So I'm so excited to announce that we're hosting an event in Austin on September 18th to the 20th at the Hyatt Regency, which will be a 3-day immersive event designed around manifesting large sums of money in your life, shifting you into the reality where large sums of money flow to you, becoming the person in which large sums of money flow. Over a 3-day period, you will be transformed by these unique meditational practices. You will feel money. You will hear it. You will smell it. You will taste it. You will become it. You will walk away with this having a completely different understanding of the nature of money in your life. We will take it to the most fundamental of levels. Tickets are still available. We have a low early bird price. I want you to come and join us. If you have struggled with this in the past, if you have the ability to attend this, I want to completely shift what's going on inside of you, to change the variables, to completely change the world around you so that you live in a reality where large sums of money are undeniably coming to you all the time. You can find a link in the description at www.brianscottlive.com/Austin-2026.